Cheers! Ah, too hot, too hot, too hot. Hi guys, my name is Dr. Rocker and today's video goes out to Page One Comics. They are about to release their first comic book, which is called DragonRage. It's about a girl called Nuri and she can turn herself into a dragon. That sounds awesome, dudes! They founded their book on Indiegogo, which is great. And since I want to support them as well, I will do a fan art cover. I'm thinking about working as a cover artist for comic books. So this is great practice for me and also a nice support for Page One Comics. So let's get a nice piece of paper. Those are some images I could find on the internet. A great cover done by David Finch, an interior page with the character I want to draw, and another cover done by Jimmy Reyes, who's also doing all the other artwork. Except from the colors. He does pencils and inks digitally, like that. Which means I'll get to draw a dragon, yeah! First we will do a thumbnail to create a decent sketch. But before we do that, a quick reminder, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell if you're new. And also watch the whole video, I will give you a ton of tips. Okay, thumbnail. We will need an extra piece of paper for that. This is just a cheap copy paper, just to sketch out the thumbnail. The actual piece of paper will be 11 by 17 inch like this drawing right here. Which means I will use those measurements to create a thumbnail. I already had an idea in my head and now I will try to bring it to paper. Okay, I guess that's pretty much what I had in mind. This dude standing here in the front, and in the back a roaring dragon. And enough space for the DragonRage letters. And this is all I will do for a thumbnail. It turned out pretty much like I imagined it, so there's no further use to do another one, because I'm happy with the first draft. Which means it's time to draw the real thing!
It's party time!
So let's draw! As you can see, I sketched out the main character of this drawing. Pretty cool dude. He's like half man, half dragon or something like that. As you can see, I even spotted a lot of the blacks, just to make sure that I won't mess up too bad later. Now I will sketch the dragon in the background. So let's go again. Okay guys, I guess that's my Dragon Force sketch. Really fun to draw this character and also the dragon. But before I will allow myself to play some computer games, I will use the 0.1 fine liner to trace the most important lines. And before that, I want to mention there's also a YouTube channel from Jimmy Reyes. Jimmy Reyes is the main artist of Dragon Force. And I think he's also the founder of Page One Comics. So also go and check out his channel, I will leave the link down in the description. He's doing tutorials, live drawing sessions, and also keeps you updated about the Dragon Force comic. Okay, but now let's ink! Broken! Too small! Let's use a 0.2 Micron fine liner. This one's working nicely! Oh. So, let's go! Okay, done with those. So now I will spot the strong blacks, mostly with my brush pen. This will be fun! So let's go! But then I will go and play some computer games. Too warm in here! When I do the strong blacks, I like to start with the bigger areas. The one I'm most comfortable about being right. Because when the bigger areas are done, it's easier to get an overall feel of the whole picture. But at the same time you have to be very careful, because when you mess up with a big area, there's most likely no going back. So keep that in mind. In this drawing the main light source hits from here, but also a small light source will produce a rim light from this direction. So there will be almost no hatching. What's especially nice when going in with the inks already, instead of doing just a pencil drawing, it's not as exhausting to your hands as pencils are. Because those brush pens are very soft. It's really a brush, so you don't have to use pressure at all. That's nice when you do a lot of work. But still, I will do a lot of pencil drawings here on this channel as well, because I really also like to pencil. It's really lovely. So stay tuned for that. This scale-like leg is a lot of work, but at the same time it will look pretty cool. It's a very nice design. But what's very difficult for me, and I also see that on a lot of drawings I get from you guys or I see on the internet, it's very hard to keep it consistent but not look alike all the time, because when I would draw them all the same, it wouldn't look good. You need to mix the patterns up a little bit, but it's very hard because very often you just want to follow the laws of the light. This one, for example, I would go and do the whole thing black, because the light is hitting from here, just a short rim light from this side, but I can't do them all like those. It doesn't look good. So I just imagine that there's a little bump in here, maybe another one there, and then it's not exactly the same as the other ones, and that's pretty cool. And then it will get even better when we will do some hatching. You see? Makes big differences. Another thing you can do to prevent these too likely looking patterns is that sometimes you make a jagged line like this, like fast, like straight, you know? Because actually this is supposed to be round like this. At least for mixing it up, just do it like that. Now it's not all the same. And like I said before, the hatching will do a lot of positive effects on these as well, but still, you need to have a nice base. And I know I told you that a gazillion times already, but I will tell you again, always move your paper, especially when using a brush. I know it can be tricky, like in this case, I have to be careful not to smudge the drawing, because this is fairly fresh, but still move the paper around as much as necessary. The further you move away from the light source, the darker you get. Which means this area will be almost totally black. And also when I will add more details, I will go darker with them as well. Now when you take a look at this area, I think it would have looked nicer if I would have just blacked it out. But I will not black it out just now. I will try and use a lot of hatching lines, so it will be very dark, but I already did the work. So I will leave it like that. I can always blacken it out later, and I guess it will look cool if I do a lot of hatching lines. And when you face something like this right here, where the line actually needs to go more like that, just take the small pen and fill it out with this one, because it's quite hard to get everything right with the brush pen. You don't have to. Don't be like, I need to be able to do this with the brush pen. You don't. You just can use the other pen. So you won't mess it up. All the pros do it. A thing like this rock here is a perfect opportunity to play and practice your pencil lines.
It's a brush, numbnuts!
Even the very small ones. You wouldn't dare on a character maybe, because it's not as bad as it would be on another part of the drawing when the lines are getting too thick. You know what I mean? It's really hard to do, but at the same time it's a great effect. You have to be very careful. On a thing like a rock, it's okay if they don't look very clean. It's no problem if they look a little bit messy. And when you mess up like I did here, where these lines are way too thick actually, just add more small lines with the fine liner so you can fix it. Don't over-render everything, but that's a good tip for fixing stuff. Also, add some cracks like this to the rock. Gives him some character. And since I have this fine liner in my hand, I will show you what I meant before with darkening this area out with the fine liner. I switched to the 0.2 fine liner again, but I guess you know what I'm talking about. Very dark and getting lighter, also with the hatchings. Another thing that might be of your interest, I added all those little cracks in this rock, but not in this one, because this one is way more far away than this one, so the cracks would be too small to be seen, so I will leave them out. But now let's finish all those strong blacks with some magic. And here we go! Spotted all the strong blacks and did some details with the brush pen. Until the strong blacks will be dry properly, I will make myself a cup of tea. Cheers! Ah, too hot, too hot, too hot. Tea was nice, but I will still not go and play computer games because now I want to finish this drawing, and for that I will use my Tombow brush pen. I will use some line weight where it's necessary and do all the rendering, all the small little details. That will be fun. So, let's go! Almost done, but I messed up right here because the wing isn't supposed to be that big, so I will do that. That's where the wing actually ends. I could blacken this area out, but I guess I will just use whiteout. Some more details. And I guess we're done, guys. My contribution to DragonRage, page 1 comics. So promise me to make sure to check out their homepage and also the YouTube channel of Jimmy Reyes. And Jimmy, this is for you. I hope you like it. Let me know down in the comments or per email or whatever. And in the end, I didn't play computer games the whole day, but I came up with a cool drawing, so draw instead of playing computer games, it's better. And since I told you a lot about strong blacks today, I want you to click here now and deepen the subject. So, see you there.